Hello and welcome to another episode of The Bookie and the Beano, where we discuss the debits and credits of being an accountant or bookkeeper in the digital world we operate in today. I'm Kane Munro, owner of Active Outsourcing and Accountancy Online, and my partner in crime is Diane Lucas, superstar bookkeeper, consultant and owner of Direct Management. This week we're chatting to a few different people that we met at the recent Accountants Business Expo in Sydney. First off, we chat to Laura Venables, a key person behind organising the event and the agenda, and one of the new additions at the Expo, the QuickBooks Table Talks. During one of these table talks that we were facilitating, we met Kyelie Baxter from IQ Accountants on the Gold Coast. Her firm is 95% paperless, so we got chatting with her after the table talk and asked her how she got to 95% paperless and what is next for her and her firm. One of the resources that Kyelie had seen at the Expo was Rocketbooks, which is an innovative approach to notepads. So from there, we chatted with the managing director of Rocketbooks, Carl Robertson, about Rocketbooks and how it can help your firm. So enjoy Booking the Beano roaming at the recent Accountants Business Expo in Sydney. So I'm here with Laura Venables at the Accounting Business Expo. I'm just about to host a table talk here. Laura, tell me a little bit more about what I can expect.
Well, you missed a really good day yesterday, and the table talks were absolutely packed. And I think one of the reasons that visitors have been really enjoying it is because it gives them a chance to meet other people, meet other accountants and bookkeepers. We facilitate the topic, but then the conversation ends up being whatever it's going to be, because it opens up discussions in all types of different areas, and then they come back for more sessions later. So really open and honest discussions.
And I guess you've got that underlying commonality of you're all an accountant or a bookkeeper or somebody in business who kind of would operate in that sort of sphere as well. So everyone on the table has something in common, albeit with different sort of priorities.
Exactly right. And I don't know where else you really get the opportunity to meet those people. The seminars are fantastic, but that's really sit and listen. But this is really interactive, it's been really, really popular.
It does seem unique, just to be able to sit down with other professionals and just kind of chew the fat without anyone having an agenda, everyone kind of talking about X and Y and really sharing what's important to you.
Absolutely. So that's purposely why we didn't come up with a full-blown synopsis. We just drop a one-liner topic and then we just let them decide how the conversation's going to go.
Well, I'm looking forward to facilitating it shortly. Thanks.
Good luck. Cheers.
Kyelie Baxter from IQ Accountants on the Gold Coast. I'm here at the Accountants Business Expo and I was facilitating a table talk on the paperless office for QuickBooks Online. And one of the attendees here, Kyelie from IQ Accountants, is 95% paperless. Kyelie, how did you do it?
Well, it wasn't an overnight process. Probably took we started 15 years ago. So originally we backscanned. So we took all of our client files and backscanned them into the system. And over the period of the next sort of 5-6 years, we went through the process of still doing manual work papers and then scanning them into the system. Yep. And that's what we thought was paperless.
Okay, so when did the technology catch up to make you actually paperless? So I'd imagine now there's some component of electronic work papers and things like that, which
Absolutely.
didn't exist back then.
Exactly. So it was really when we changed our practice management software that is when we went, there's electronic work papers that exist, whereas previously I guess we were using Excel and those sorts of things. Yep. So we were using digital work papers, yep. But then we're printing paper copies. I, as the owner, I was still reviewing sort of work papers, 10 centimetres thick, signing off on them, then they were getting scanned into the system.
Okay, so I guess as the partner in the firm now, what's the process of reviewing a job which is prepared electronically? Because I know that's one of the barriers for a lot of accountants out there who are used to either a paper file or making sure that an electronic file has everything you need to be comfortable that everything's okay on a job.
It's an electronic approval process. Yep. So I get a approval request that the file's ready to be approved, and then I can go through each work paper and approve and reject it. It's really harsh. The reject is a red rework, which I just feel terrible about. I prefer it to be orange, a shade of pink, and then I can set a task. So in that task, I can assign it to the accountant doing the work and pretty much say what I want. And sometimes it's just me asking a question like, should this be like this? I don't know. Check.
So it's really replicating the traditional review process.
Absolutely.
Where, job comes to the senior manager, partner reviews it, goes back and you go back into the rework loop. Yes. So it's the same way that we've always prepared jobs as accountants. Yes. It's just a different way of facilitating that review.
Correct. So it has really changed our entire workflow process. So we actually had to sit down and look at how we changed our internal systems because we went paperless.
Yep.
So we no longer have a receptionist because the receptionist that we were hiring couldn't deal with the level of technology that we were using. So we have a document coordinator now.
Well, it's a real challenge as well, the people aspect of it, like that change management process. If you've gone from one process to another process, you documented it, you retooled your process to adopt what your best practice is for your firm.
Totally.
How do you take people on that journey? Is that a hard process, or just
goodness.
hire the right people?
It's about hiring the right people with the right skill set. And I'll be honest, we totally failed. That reception position, we only realised that wasn't working for us. We say we, it was me. I only realised that wasn't working for us probably 18 months ago, and it probably wasn't working for 18 months before that, because people were coming from other firms going, yes, our firm's going paperless too, or it is paperless, but really all they could do in our firm was answer the phone, because they couldn't even do the mail process because we do not send any physical mail out. So the receptionists, they weren't even dealing with that.
Yeah, so the things which would be in a traditional job description for a role like that don't exist in your firm.
Do not exist.
Yeah, so you need a different skill set to facilitate the client work being done before it gets to an accountant.
Absolutely. So from our viewpoint, by the time it gets to the accountant, all of the documents are already there. Some of the work papers have already been set up and done and are sitting waiting for approval by me. The accountant still checks them, but still.
Okay, just going back to the review process of partner, what do you think it's saved time-wise for you? Because it's really important as you go up the scale that saving time at the partner manager level is super important, because that's where you can do more, valuable work and charge more money for what you do.
Huge time savings. So across the board, we've probably increased the client base by about 30% without increasing our staff.
If that is not a reason for people to adopt some level of a paperless office, I can't think of another better reason.
Yep, paperless plus a good practice management software that allows for that paperless to be implemented. And plus, I downsized from I used to have a full-time receptionist and a full-time administration person, and neither of those roles exist anymore.
Okay, so if you had one piece of advice for people who are taking their first step into a paperless environment, because there are a lot of accountants out there who are still, quite reliant on paper, what would it be? Is it the process?
Do it.
Yeah,
first.
do it. Absolutely do it. Is it be that get your process down pat first before you take that step?
I think don't underestimate the time it's going to take and involve and engage your staff, because every single person has to be on board. I'd also say be prepared to educate, because you have to educate your staff, but you also have to educate your client base. We had to offer our clients a complete hand-holding process. I've said it before, my staff became almost IT support to our clients, particularly when we went on that portal journey, which was instrumental in not sending paper mail anymore.
So you're 95% paperless, 5% left. Do you think you can get to 100%? Is it possible?
I don't know if we can get to 100% because of external factors. So we're still getting the mail, probably we're getting it daily. 3 letters come a day, 2 of them from the ATO, 1 of them is junk. I think the ATO will go in the next sort of 12 months, hopefully sooner.
Agreed.
But it's also clients. So clients, we are asking them to send everything digitally, upload it through the portal. We are even to the stage now where we're saying we don't send you stuff by email, so please don't send us stuff by email, it's not safe. And they're learning, they're really good. We're also, clients that do drop things off, we're telling them, last year we told them this is the last year. This year if they rock up to the office and try and drop things off on paper, depending on who they are, Jess, our client services person, is sending them away. And it's an education process. So you actually asked an interesting question at the table before, and you said, are there, in accounting versus in bookkeeping, is there a place for add-on apps or data capture? And I think there is in some experiences, because we've got clients with 16 or 17 investment properties, but he came in with a blue IKEA bag full of folders.
Wow. If you had 17 investment properties, you might be able to afford something a bit better than an IKEA bag.
Well, you'd think so. And Jess literally said, no, please go home and sort that out. And he was like, I don't know how, what should I do? So it was really good, a great opportunity. He came back in, we sort of said, here's what you're going to do. He had to go and buy himself a computer, but that was fine. And it was a win-win for us and him.
Well, it helps the relationship as well, where you're both leaning on each other to get a better result for the client and your firm as well, because you're running a business as well as the person who's generally coming in to be serviced by you. So that education piece and the relationship that the education forms is a really important touch point for a client as well.
Absolutely, and I think clients are genuinely seeing it as added value. In some ways, I can't say that I've never had the question asked, will this reduce my fee? It's a rare question, but it is, and our answer always is no, but it will help keep your fee to a similar state, because if you keep giving us this information, it's just going to increase.
Yeah, and the other part is turnaround time of jobs as well. I'd imagine
Absolutely.
that the turnaround time would be significantly faster with somebody coming in with all the information in an electronic form that you can use on the spot, as opposed to the pick up, put down, lost time, which we all have on some jobs.
Oh, definitely. So the way I explain it is, this is already in our language.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a very good explanation, a very good way to end it. Kyelie, thank you so much for your time. It's always enlightening, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Pleasure, thank you.
Carl Robertson. Hello, I'm here with Carl from Rocketbook. Carl, firstly, Rocketbook looks amazing. Tell me a little bit more about the product for the people listening.
Yeah, so Kane, Rocketbook are cloud-connected, reusable notebooks. What makes us unique is the ability to be able to take notes and then upload those to the cloud, and then wipe the book clear again, so then you can reuse it over and over again.
Wow! So you literally just I can look at the notebooks here. It is a reusable piece of paper that you can reuse over and over again, and sync that to your file server. That's amazing.
Yeah, correct. So we work with all the major cloud services, so Google Drive, Dropbox, OneNote, OneDrive, all the big ones, and email, of course. And essentially, yeah, you're right. We literally take your handwritten notes straight from the page, change them into a digital PDF or JPEG, and then we also offer transcription as well. So if you send it to email, it will actually transcribe your handwritten notes into typed text, so it saves a bit of time.
I was going to say, outside of having, I guess, half-decent handwriting, what else do you need to access it? Obviously, the piece of the magic paper. Is there anything else? And you obviously need some kind of cloud server or at least email. Is there anything else that I'm missing there? An app?
Yeah, so it's an app, yeah, correct. So essentially, the cost of entry is the notebook, if you like. We're not a subscription model. Our model is we sell you a notebook. So the notebook is a $55 notebook that's available at getrocketbook.com.au. And essentially the beauty of the Everlast is you buy the book and then you download the free app, so it's available on Android and iOS, and then you've got that whole connectivity function.
And size-wise, I can see here you've got everything from really small to almost whiteboard size. What sort of sizes are we talking?
Yeah, so we've got a full range of sizes. We start at a pocket size, which is the Everlast Mini. We then go up to our executive size, which is close to A5 size. The size up from that is a letter size, which is similar to A4, I guess you'd say. And then we've also recently launched the ThinkBoard X, which are essentially whiteboards that you can apply onto walls or any surfaces. And again, you know, we're looking at real large format in those. Yeah.
Well, this does look like how I traditionally take notes. Like a lot of sort of, I guess, older accountants who don't use an Evernote or a note-taking system, which is online or on a tablet, will take notes on a piece of paper, and that's inevitably lost. So I can see a real market for this, where you can do what you've always done, but I guess take it into a paperless sort of environment, which is what a lot of accountants are striving for.
Absolutely. So we say Rocketbook is the perfect tool to bridge the gap between pen and paper and the cloud. You know, the notebook is not dead. As much as a lot of businesses going paperless, certainly there is still a demand for people handwriting notes, and that's what we like to think Rocketbook does. It really assists those that are note takers to use a notebook as you normally would, but then have that security of backing your notes up to the cloud or to your email, so that they're stored. They're easily searchable. So the other thing is they're tagged, so you can actually search by content to easily locate your notes.
Okay, how do you tag them? So there's a tag facility as well.
So with the transcription functionality that I was mentioning we've got, if you activate that via the settings, it'll actually pick up the keywords that you've got. And then if you upload that to something like a Google Drive, for example, if you use the search functionality, then it will help find it. The other thing we've got is if you put 2 hashtags on either side of a keyword or keywords, it'll actually make the content within those hashtags the title of the JPEG or PDF file that's sent to you. So that's an easy way to find it as well.
Wow, it's an amazing product. Carl, thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Well, that's all for today on Booking the Beano. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And while you're there, leave us a review and share it with your network, especially if they are accountants and bookkeepers. We'll be back soon with another episode. So until then, stay accurate.
Bye.